Ready? Let's do.
Okay.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Vice Presidential debates. Right now, we are going to be hearing from our candidates that are running for the Vice President of Internal Affairs. Now, each candidate will have 3 minutes to do their opening statements, and right now, we'll start off with Mr. Burkhoff.
My fellow students, my name is Patrick Burkhoff, and I'm honored to announce my candidacy for this year's Vice President of Internal Affairs. I'm a proud father with a lively 3-year-old son and a devoted husband to my incredible wife. As a U.S. Army veteran, I've served with distinction and earned numerous accolades for my honorable service. Currently, I'm an Army ROTC cadet preparing to join the officer corps and lead the next generation of soldiers. I bring with me a wealth of experience, including my time as the SGA Senator at Large. During my time in SGA, I helped grow the organization into the largest membership in history. Under my leadership, the Student Action Review Committee achieved record-breaking success, appointing the most highly qualified legislative assistants for 2 consecutive semesters. If elected, the Senate will be held to the same standard of success for my SGA committees. A vote for me is a vote for your next Vice President of Internal Affairs is a vote for accountability, progress, and action. I will ensure that your elected senatorial representatives fulfill their responsibilities to improve our campus. Together, my party and I will dismantle the complacency that has troubled this organization for far too long. A vote for me is a vote for me as your next Vice President of Internal Affairs. Our voices will be heard and your power will be recognized. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burkhoff. Mrs. Madrid?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Madrid, and I am running to be your next Vice President of Internal Affairs for Student Government Association. A little bit about me. I was born and raised here in El Paso, Texas, so my heart is with the borderland always. I was raised by my grandparents. I have a big soft spot for older people, and they are the ones who taught me that it is the most important thing to get an education and to give back to your community. And that is what I plan to do as your Vice President of Internal Affairs. I have a lot of experience in organizing and advocating. My grandparents, a U.S. Air Force veteran, and my grandmother was a volunteer with the American Lung Association, taught me that it is important to focus on your health, because without our health, we are nothing. And that is something that students here at the University of Texas at El Paso do struggle with, which is why our party wants to focus on improving health outcomes through targeting food insecurity. My grandparents, who I basically do everything for, really encouraged me to go out there and to advocate. So I have spent the last 6 years of my life advocating tirelessly for tobacco prevention amongst youth. Just this weekend, I was in Austin advocating towards 50 middle schoolers so that they never start and they never pick up such a dangerous habit. I have previously worked and interned throughout the community in the federal and local level. I have served for Congresswoman Veronica Escobar from our hometown, and I have also served from Congresswoman Nanette Barragan, California, who was the chair of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus while I was under her. So I have a lot of experience serving our population and making sure that things are getting done. I also currently work for County Commissioner Jackie Butler, so I have experience on the local levels and talking with constituents and making sure that things get done. I have also been a part of student government. I was the co-chair of the Outreach Committee. I have also been a voting member of the Appropriations Document Review Committee and the Welfare Committee, where I assisted with projects like Project Period, which provides feminine care products to our students, eliminating a barrier. And it's also a health issue that I really do want to work on. So I would appreciate your all's vote. A vote for me is a vote for improving our campus and improving the quality of life for our students here so that we can have the best education. Because as Ryan said earlier, if somebody's hungry or they're not getting their basic needs met, how are they going to get a good education? And that is what we want to do. So if you all would vote for El Oso down the ballot and for Kayla Madrid, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Madrid. All right, now on to the actual questions. Mr. Burkhoff, as Vice President of Internal Affairs, you will have significant legislative responsibilities, including presiding over the Senate. What qualifications prepare you for this role?
So thank you for asking the question. I've been the chair of 5 different SGA committees, 3 of them SARC, one outreach, and one appropriations, arguably the most important committee inside of SGA. Appropriations hands out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to student organizations. During my time there, I've set agendas, I've held meetings according to the Robert's Rules of Law, and it won't stop there. During the Senate, I'll be bringing over those standards that I've set in my committees. So, pretty good standard.
Thank you, Mr. Burkoff. Mrs. Madrid, as Vice President of Internal Affairs, you will have significant legislative responsibilities, including presiding over the Senate. What qualifications prepare you for this role?
Thank you, Sarah. So through my time in SGA and through my works outside of UTEP, I have been very organized. As the Vice President of Internal Affairs, my main role would be making sure that the students and our senators get the resources that they need in order to carry out their projects. So take Project Period, for example, and the condom project that puts those in the male restrooms. Those are initiatives that are started through our senators, but how can they get those started? Because we all know that there's bureaucracy and there's red tape, and I know how to work through that bureaucracy. I know how to go through those levels and to make sure that our students are getting that money, getting those resources so that the initiatives can get back to you all, so that they can get back to us, because I'm a student. I have also been on campus and I understand that we have struggles here. I've worked as a teaching assistant. I've even worked fast food jobs where people will share a lot more than you'd think about while just trying to get their food. And they're like, oh, I hate all of these things on campus. I have to park over here because I can't park in campus. I can't afford it. And that's an issue that we want to really work towards. I'm also familiar with Robert's Rules of Order, and I would like to say that I would run a tight ship with the Senate and make sure that we are all able to get our projects done and get our projects done well and efficient. Because what are we if not efficient? I want to make sure that our money is spent correctly and that our time is used efficiently. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Madrid. Mr. Burkoff, how do you plan to increase transparency within the SGA?
That's a pretty simple answer. Thank you for the question. I plan on sending out a monthly report of what SGA does. We can attach it to the newspaper that UTEP has. We can attach it to one of the bookstore emails or just send out a general e-bulletin. I think it's important for all the students to know what their representatives are doing for them each month. We can even do it weekly if we have a lot of stuff going on. But in the name, we can push it out on social media as well. But in the name of transparency, I do want to point out Ryan, the head of the El Oso party, was wrong about the parking situation he had. He wasn't the only senator to work on parking. In fact, I was too. At the beginning of the last semester, I railed at the replace pen to get an insight on the current parking situation. My only request from the Senate was not to allow me to do it alone. Nobody reached out. Also, an event hosted for the 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb where everybody was going to, in remembrance of the veterans' lives lost, only one member voted against it. Ryan, that's transparency. And that's what you'll get from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCaw. Mrs. Madrid, how do you plan to increase transparency within the SGA?
Of course. So let's be honest, we are college students. We're on our phones, we're on social media. I want our senators to be transparent about their projects and give real-time updates. So say they put in the bill to sponsor it. Let's post that bill. Let's post our senator putting an example. And I know that's not exactly my duties as VPI. Alexis will touch on it a little bit later, but I want to ensure that that's something that our senators know that they can do and that they have access to. I would also like to say that we have been pretty good at getting things done, and we don't quit when the work gets hard. If I remember correctly, Senator Burkoff, you did resign within this last term, and if you want to speak more on that, I would love to hear it, but we have seen the results from our projects, and we stick through them. I had a special project that did not go the way that I wanted it to go. There was a change in administration, and I'm going to be fully transparent with you. My special project did not come to fruition, but did that stop me in student government? No, I stayed and I saw everything through. To make up for that loss that I took, I put myself into each and every committee. I made sure that I was there for appropriations so that our other projects could get funded. I made sure that I was there as the co-chair of outreach so that our students knew what we were doing. And I made sure that I went through our document review committee to make sure that our documents were serving our senators efficiently and that what happened to me wasn't going to happen to another senator. And I plan to continue to foster that transparency throughout my term as Vice President of Internal Affairs. Thank you.
Mrs. Madrid. I do want to emphasize, y'all, let's keep it clean, let's be respectful. This is just a debate. So now on to the final question. Mr. Burkall, accountability involves taking responsibility to ensure key priorities are met. How can students effectively hold you and other SGA members accountable during your term?
Well, the whole reason why I wanted to run for VPI in the beginning was to bring the standard of excellence that that students expect from their representatives to the SGA. I will be holding everybody to that requirement that is laid out in the governing documents. For too long, students have ran for the SGA positions to build their resumes. Under my leadership, senators will no longer be allowed to sit idly while their constituents expect meaningful, real, positive change. Thank you.
Mr. Burkall. Mrs. Madrid. Accountability involves taking responsibility to ensure key priorities are met. How can students effectively hold you and other SGA members accountable during your term?
Of course, putting it simply, we're going to be there. We're going to be at every event. You will see us everywhere. Hopefully, it'll even get to the point where you get sick of us and you're like, oh, do I even want to go out there and try and talk to these people? Because we're going to be out there and you all are going to be able to hold us accountable. As Ryan said earlier, we're going to be out all week campaigning, and that's not going to stop once this election is over. We're going to be at every event. We're going to be at those special projects. And I told you all that story about my grandparents, and they're really near and dear to my heart because I want you all to know me. I want you all to know us because we're real people too. We're real people, and you can come up and talk to us. There's going to be no shutting out. This is not a resume builder. We are students just as we all are. And so I want you all to know that we are here and we are open to questions, comments, concerns, feedback, negative feedback. Because what are we if not working to make a better campus? And the only way to do that is through feedback. So opening the voices up to the students is the most important thing. And I plan to really make sure that all of our senators know that as VPI. Thank you.
Mrs. Madrid. Now on to closing statements. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to do their statement. Mr. Burkall, can you start us off, please?
During my time in the military and as time as Senator at large, I've strived for success in everything I did. If elected into the position, that will not change. My colleagues in the SGA and the students of this great university will undoubtedly have a VPI that will be committed to the round the clock to making the standards are upheld and their voices are heard. Thank you.
Mrs. Madrid, your closing statement.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here today. And to Mr. Burkall, I am so honored to be running against you. We're really just trying to make UTEP better in 2 different ways, and I respect that with my whole heart. But I'm here for you all. I'm here for the students. We are here for the students, and we want to do everything that we can to make things great for you all. We want to put in these projects, like Ryan mentioned, tackle food insecurity and tackle parking, because those are the 2 biggest issues. But we also want to get to know you all and get to know all of the struggles that you would like to see. And we plan on doing that through our senators at large and our collegiate senators projects. You all have input. They are your voice. You are your voice, and we want to hear it always. We want to know that you all are wanting to make campus better as well. And I will always be here to listen. And so I hope as your next Vice President of Internal Affairs, you all will come to me and you'll tell me what you want to see. And we'll make that happen. I can promise you. Thank you.
All right, that marks the end of our vice presidential debate for the internal position. We have about 15 minutes until our next debate, so if y'all want to take a break, feel free. Thank you for participating.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.